Hey there, welcome to the Criticalbench YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us today. Coach Chris Wilson alongside my friend, bodybuilding expert, Mr. Lee Hayward from Total Fitness Bodybuilding. Hey, be sure to go check out his channel too, because it's pretty amazing stuff. Actually, we do a lot of the same content, don't we, anymore?
Great stuff.
Great stuff. We love
Similar content.
Similar content. Yeah. So we have some great information that we're going to cover today regarding testosterone therapies, and I want to really pick Lee's brain because he knows a lot about this particular topic.
Let's go.
All right, so Mr. Lee, hormone replacement therapy and TRT, which is testosterone replacement therapy.
Yes.
The two are kind of used at this when in the same discussion. And I think people maybe aren't 100% sure when to use one term versus another, or what the similarities or differences are.
Well, we'll just mention that.
Yeah.
Obviously, TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, is just referring to testosterone. But there's so many other hormones. You have your growth hormone, your thyroid hormone, and there's all kinds of different metabolic hormones that come into place. So really we should be looking at HRT, hormone replacement therapy, because all this stuff comes into play, not just your testosterone.
Right.
But for men, especially men over 40, testosterone is like the king. It's the main hormone that we really want to focus on.
It's the real differentiator in what makes men men.
Absolutely.
And women, because women have testosterone too.
Sure.
They just have a lot less than us. And the women that have a bit more, it's almost evident in how they look, how they sound, the muscularity that they have. So it's you can instantly, the hair growth, like all the, all those things that come with testosterone. So I want to talk about like the pros and the cons, when to consider using those things, maybe when those things are abused, or you're not following maybe the guidelines of somebody that's an authority.
Sure.
So what's your experience with it?
Personally, I'm not using testosterone replacement therapy. It's something that I haven't had the need to use yet, but it's something that I'm definitely going to be looking into, and I'm keeping tabs on it as I get older. So I mean, right now I'm 41, so approaching that second half of life. I know you're a bit older. How old are you now, Rick?
I just turned 44.
44, okay, so we're in the second half of life now, right? Over 40.
It sounds awful when you put it that way.
Yeah, the best is yet to come.
Okay, all right. The second half. So we're only in like the beginning of the third quarter, right?
Still got another 40 good years ahead of you.
All right, good.
Look at it that way, right?
Good, yeah.
We're in the halfway point right now.
It's true.
But this is something that comes into play because when you're younger, right, your testosterone levels are at their best, especially in your late teens, early 20s. Like that is the golden phase. Like I know you've been working out a long time yourself, and just think when you were in your late teens and 20s, you were making gains, even though it felt slow back then because we're so impatient as teenagers. Correct. But looking back at it now, you're like, man, I would love to be able to make gains like I did in my 20s.
No, well, you can get away with so much more too. You know, you're not so conscious of your diet. You're just eating whatever's in front of you,
and still staying lean.
Still staying lean. You're pretty much injury-free.
That's right.
You train like an animal. You can have heavy day after heavy day after heavy day. And because your levels are just through the roof, you know, and then you get people will ask, well, what's a normal range, right, for testosterone? They don't necessarily. Well, 300 to 1,000 is considered normal.
Right.
So when you're younger, you are like 1,000, or even better than that.
Close to that range.
Close to that range.
And these ranges vary. Like I know in Canada they use a different form of measurement. But bottom line, this is stuff that you want to talk to your doctor about. Yeah. Right. Like ultimately, especially if you're in your 40s and you haven't had your testosterone levels checked, this should, like when you go to your next physical, your next checkup, ask your doctor to check for this. And this is something like a lot of doctors, they don't look for it. Like when you get blood work done, they'll check your cholesterol, they'll check your blood sugar, you know, all this stuff, your blood pressure, like all these big markers. But most of them don't care about testosterone. Now it's starting to change. You know, doctors are becoming more aware of the benefits of this. But you have to ask for it.
You really do, and it's funny how people start to get a little funny when you start talking about hormones and testosterone and estrogen and its impact on how you feel, because it's not just about muscle gains. It's about energy levels. It's about mental clarity and not having a brain fog in the second half of the day. It's about sleeping better and
sex drive.
Sex drive, right? I mean, yeah, it's good, talking about important stuff. But you know, when I was in my later 30s, not too long after I started working here at Criticalbench, I was having that late day sluggishness. I was, just not, I was having the unwanted fat gain that I wasn't certain why I was getting it, because I thought I was doing all the same things I was doing 5 years previous. I actually went and got my blood work done, and I found that my levels were really low. I was in the very low 300s, which is I was just scraping by what they consider normal range, you know? And that, for me, that wasn't good enough.
Not good enough.
So I'm like, all right, first let me look at my lifestyle. What can I do to naturally start to boost it? And then I started getting regular blood work done at a clinic and getting that blood panel, and then talking with the doctor afterwards, having a consultation, going line by line, what do all these numbers mean? And then talking about free testosterone and my testosterone level. And I started taking a DHEA and pregnenolone to support my natural production. I also actually take our product, which is something that we partnered with AS Research years ago and started making a natural herbal product with 10 ingredients. And this will help support. I'm not saying if you have really low T, you're going to need more than than a natural herbal T booster, but this will help, and if you're doing all the other things that you're supposed to be doing. But T Drive I've been taking religiously for years now, and my levels have been much better with the DHEA combined with that, combined with my body really likes intermittent fasting, and it really likes more of a keto style approach to eating, which is really just cut out all the processed crap and eat more good proteins and healthy fats. And all of a sudden, like hormones are starting to do what they're meant to do. So what's your experience with people that you've come across that are maybe abusing or not, or you get the sense that maybe something funky's going on with what they're doing?
Well, let's just cut to the chase here. I mean, like in the whole bodybuilding niche, whenever you see somebody who's in good shape, lean and muscular, a lot of people automatically assume, well, he's taking stuff. He's on steroids, he's on the juice, he's on whatever, right? You obviously consume performance-enhancing drugs. And that could be the case in a lot of situations. I mean, it is quite common. And the thing is, testosterone replacement therapy or hormone replacement therapy is not that. It's not the abuse. It's actually going to your doctor, getting your levels checked, seeing what you need, and then doing so under a doctor's supervision. Not this trying to do it on your own, where a lot of people are taking like crazy stuff, underground stuff, like black market products. You don't know if it's real or if it's fake or what. It's the wild west, right? You really don't know what you're getting into. So I mean, if you're doing it through doctor supervision, at least you have someone monitoring your health, so you know that you're on the right track. And if there is any problems, they can correct it. Whereas if you're doing it on your own, it's just a crapshoot.
It is a crapshoot. You don't know what's the source. Where's the stuff coming from, right? If you're having to get it through another country, through some guy who won't give you his real name, and like through a false bank account, it's like, you don't do it the right way. Go get tested. There are ways to help foster your production and to feel better, to kind of navigate yourself through these later years, because after 30 is when you do start to see a bit of a dip.
It starts to decline from every year.
I mean, they say what, like 1% or so, maybe. I mean, it's different for everybody, right? Lee could have a testosterone level of 700 or 800 or 900, and I could have a level of 400 or 500, and still I feel fine. He feels fine. We both have muscle.
We both feel it.
So for my body, it works fine. Other people, they might feel like, I feel better when I'm 800, 900, or 1,000. I don't know, but the best thing to do is to go and get checked out and really know what these things mean, what these numbers mean, and do it often. I mean, I go annually now.
Good.
I was going like every 6 months, and then the doctor, he basically said, just once a year. You know you need the sleep. You can't, that's the other thing too, you can't overcome living a bad lifestyle just by taking something.
That's where a lot of people, they look for that Band-Aid solution, right? They don't want to fix the root cause. They just, well, what can I take? What can I take? What's the best supplement, right? I want to build muscle. Well, what do I take? I want to lose fat. What do I? No, you need to change your lifestyle first.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we can even just talk about that. Like, for people, like, I coach a lot of men over 40. That's my main focus now, is because, hey, I can relate to that demographic. Yeah. You're in that demographic. Yeah. We can relate to that. And one thing that I often find is a lot of guys over 40 do have low testosterone levels. But what we want to focus on first, optimizing the exercise, optimizing nutrition, sleep, lifestyle habits, minimizing alcohol or any recreational drugs, if that happens to be in there. All this stuff can have a negative impact on your testosterone levels and just health and fitness in general. So we want to take care of that first and then see how your body responds. If that's enough, then great. And if you want to take a supplement to help boost it, like the T-Drive, other supplements like zinc, magnesium, vitamin D3, like all these things have a huge impact on your natural testosterone levels.
Yeah, I mean, this is all natural stuff. This is herbal. We hand selected these 10 ingredients to go into this. We were part of the creation process for this. It has uricoma, it has ginseng, it has DMAE, it has maca root, it has DIM, which actually helps to suppress estrogen. It has a lot of things in it that have been shown on their own to naturally support testosterone. Be sure to check that pinned comment below, because if you want to find out more about T-Drive, click that link and you can find out more information about it. There's a really nice page there to read. But it really does come down to a lot of factors, and some people, they just want to single out one thing. You know, they see a guy who's really fit, really lean, really muscular, they automatically say he's doing something he shouldn't be doing. They don't see all the behind the scenes. They don't see the meal prep. They don't see that guy gets 8 hours of sleep every night. That guy doesn't drink very much alcohol. You know, that guy is doing the slow go cardio on the days where he's not lifting heavy for an hour or two. You know, they don't see all that stuff, you know? And it doesn't just happen by accident.
No.
You know, like
consistency.
It's consistency.
Consistency. That's the biggest thing. Like a lot of people, they're looking for that quick fix solution. I mean, we're constantly bombarded in the fitness industry, like lose 30 pounds in 30 days. You know, bulk up quick, get ripped quick, or whatever. And that doesn't exist.
No.
Even if you're taking performance-enhancing drugs, that still doesn't exist.
No, you're
like
right.
You look at these guys, like competitive bodybuilders or people that you follow on social media, like the fitness influencers. I would say the average, even the quote-unquote young guys, the average is 10 years of training. Like most of them probably started in their early teens, and then okay, by the time they're in their mid-20s, they got a nice physique. But that's 10 plus years.
Yeah.
And then if you're talking about guys in their 40s, well, there's probably 20 plus years of solid training.
That's right.
So it's not something that's going to happen in a couple months, right? That's totally unrealistic. You need to look at the long-term training, nutrition, lifestyle. And I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do when it comes to this. Like, we're really going to focus on men over 40 here, because that's what I want to focus on.
Well, that's where I think you feel like where I personally, and I just speak from experience, I really felt a difference in my physique, in my energy levels, in a lot of things in my late 30s into my 40s. I did feel, I didn't notice it in my 20s into my 30s at all. I just felt the same, pretty much the same. But I felt these things, and losing weight became a lot harder for me. I can't just eat good now for 2 or 3 weeks and trim down and lose 5 to 10 pounds. Like I need to be really good for like 90 days. Really to make a good dent. And I really just feel like that's because things are just not where they were 10 or 15 or 20 years ago, you know, and I need to work harder to maintain, to look good. I mean, Lee, obviously, you know, Lee has massive bodybuilding roots. He's a competitor. So for you, you're just so much more than I am dialed in on your nutrition. And wouldn't you say, like, for you, the training is what comes easy? I think the workouts aren't really something that you. I mean, I say come easy. I mean, it's still working hard, but it's the preparation when it comes to what you're putting in on a daily basis. And if that's really good for a better part of a year now. I mean, look at you, how much leaner you are now than a year ago when you were down visiting.
Sure. Well, I mean, that was actually a longer term process there.
Right.
I mean, in my case, I was competing in bodybuilding from 1995 to 2011 is when I did my last competition. And after that, my wife and I, we decided we want to start a family and have a child. So we started trying for a baby. I mean, she did her last show in 2012. So my wife and I mean, she's a former national level figure competitor. So, I mean, we have that foundation.
Right.
But even with that foundation, life gets in the way.
Yes.
So, like, as soon as we stopped competing in bodybuilding and had that direct motivation of, okay, there's a show coming up, we've got to get in shape. Without that motivation, it's easy to get lazy. We both got lazy. And then, of course, when we switched priorities, okay, we want to start a family, have a child. Things really, it didn't happen the same. Like, I wasn't going to the gym consistently.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't eating the same. And it got to the point where once we did have our son, and I'll tell you how I even got on the topic of this is because we were struggling to get pregnant. So, I mean, then when you're going through that, she got checked out, I got checked out, got my hormone levels checked, and it kind of made me aware of all this stuff because before then, I wasn't even consciously aware of it.
That's right. Well, it's you're taking those things for granted.
But now we have motivation. Okay, we want to start a family, and okay, having trouble getting pregnant, and then of course we had some miscarriages and all that kind of stuff. I mean, stuff people don't like to talk about, but it's real life. Right. So we were trying for a few years before we actually had our son Harvey, and that created a lot of stress. And during that time, I wasn't eating and exercising like I should be. And then of course, with a newborn baby, that if you're a parent, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Everything right? It gets blown up.
The best intentions are like a fart in the wind, gone out the window, man. So, I mean, baby's crying at night, like, I'm exhausted. I wake up in the morning, I'm like, I do not want to go to the gym today. I'll do it tomorrow. And then, like, meal prep, I was like, I'm too tired to cook. I'm just going to order a pizza. I'll get back on track tomorrow. And the next thing you know, tomorrow turns in, I'll get back on track on Monday. And before you know, all these little decisions start adding up. And then a few months go by, and I'm like, who's this fat slob looking at me in the mirror?
Oh my gosh.
Right? Like, and then from the point where I was like, okay, former competitive bodybuilder to I was totally embarrassed about how I looked. I mean, I'll tell you how bad it was. Like, one of my best friends, he actually got married down south around this time, and he invited us to his wedding, and I was so embarrassed by how fat I let myself get, I made up an excuse not to go to his wedding.
Oh my gosh.
Because I was like, these people all know me from Lee Hayward, the bodybuilder, and now I'm Lee Hayward, the fat dad bod. I said, no, man, I'm not doing it. So I made up an excuse. Oh, I'm busy, I'm this, work, blah, blah, all that kind of BS. Really, I was just embarrassed, right? Like,
oh my gosh.
Joke, just us. So that was my motivation. I need to get my SHIT together.
That's right.
Right?
Wow. So if you're having those real life struggles, if you're struggling to burn the fat or to get to lean out or to find the motivation to get to the gym more or have a better workout while you're there, or your sleep pattern is disrupted, or you're having weird mental blocks in the middle of the day, that could all be related to testosterone, which is your number one man-making hormone. And if that's screwed up because of the way you've been living, you know, whether you have young kids or you don't, you've just fallen off the wagon.
That's right.
Then the best advice I could say is go get checked out. Go get checked out, see what your baseline is right now, and then start to make that change, start to clean things up. Get the recommendation from the doctor, you know, that you meet with or consult with, and say, what do I need to be doing here?
Right.
You know, if you're in your 30s, then he's probably going to say, let's do everything possible naturally to boost you. But if you're 40s and beyond, then they're going to probably consider like HRT or TRT treatments there.
And I've recommended that to a lot of my personal coaching students. And once, like, they've tried eating right, they've tried exercising in the lifestyle, and yes, it helps, but there's like, it's not getting the results they want. And then some of them went and got tested. And when we're talking about these different hormone levels, like, you have your total testosterone and then you have your free testosterone. So I mean, sometimes you might have your high total testosterone, but then you have low free testosterone. and that means the testosterone that you have is not doing its job.
That's right.
So I mean, sometimes
because there's other factors involved. There's other hormones involved.
Right, other hormones. I mean, it's a sex hormone binding globulin. Like big words.
Right. But there's all these catalyst things happening, right? In order to have you might have all the great equipment here.
That's right.
But if you don't have weights.
That's right.
All you have is cool equipment, but you don't have a bar with plate weight. Like, what are you going to get done? So there's a lot of.
You need to fix that stuff, right? It's like, I mean, you could have a sports car, and if it's running low on oil and coolant and fluids, it's not going to perform the same.
Exactly right.
Like, these are the little things that you need to get fixed, and of course, the only way to do it is through your doctor. Like, we're not medical professionals. No. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. What I'm encouraging you to do is go to your doctor and follow your doctor's advice on this.
Absolutely. But this is a very real thing that's very prevalent now.
It is.
People weren't really doing it or even talking about it years ago, or anything that people were doing was probably illegal, or they were just getting stuff through mail, and God knows what they were taking. But now at least it is a conversation.
It is.
There are clinics all over the place. I mean, there's one right here in Tampa that I go to, and it's probably one of the smartest things that I've done in recent years, because there's other things you learn about your body besides your testosterone when you get your blood work done. Your cholesterol, your triglycerides, your prostate, like all these other things that you should know about. And they need to fall into a certain range. And you can prevent future disease or future issues by just knowing, your blood tells doctors a lot.
It does.
About you. So definitely get that done. Yeah.
I mean, just to piggyback on that, like, a lot of people think testosterone is bad. Like, we come from this mindset, like, if you take hormones, like steroid hormones, that's bad. But having too low a testosterone has its own series of side effects that are even worse than too high a testosterone.
That's right. Agreed.
And the biggest one is mental.
Yeah.
Because if you're fat, you're not confident, you don't feel good about yourself, your sex drive is low. I mean, you start to lose the drive for life itself.
I agree. I mean, you're lethargic. You're lazy. There's a lot of it's all bad connotation stuff associated with really low levels. Just like, if on the flip side, if women's hormones are a mess, I mean, no woman is looking forward to like menopause. And why, and that's actually something that we're creating a program for. Coach Tanya is creating a program for that to help these women, because there could be a 5 to 10 year period where they just do not feel right. And the same goes for men. I mean, we both go through these, men and women alike, go through these hormonal disruptions or challenges in life when we get to certain stages. And the best thing you can do is be proactive, be smart, go get checked out, and you know what? And you'll be able to hopefully turn a corner and make some positive change. Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, I've seen it happen with a lot of my personal coaching students who I've recommended this to. They've got checked out, and then they get on proper hormone replacement therapy. And then all of a sudden, now what they're doing in the gym is working. They're actually seeing the gains.
Yeah, that's right.
Their diet is working. They're losing the body fat, and they're feeling better. And it's like you feel like you did when you were in your 20s and 30s, but with more intelligence.
Yeah, they plugged the hole in the boat.
They plugged the hole in the boat.
Lee, we were talking the other day, and we were talking about if you have a boat filled with water's coming in, and you have buckets to get the water out, but there's a hole in the boat.
Yeah.
So if you never plug the hole, all you're doing is always trying to pitch water out, but you're not fixing the problem. Right. So plug the hole
first.
Plug the hole.
So I mean, this could be a big hole in your diet and exercise and fitness routine. So again, like I say, we're not trying to tell you what to do other than follow your doctor's advice on this one.
Hey, we went on and on and on, but I think we made a lot of good points, Lee.
We did.
And this is something to take very seriously, because we care about you and we want you to take action in your life and get the results you deserve. And don't forget, check the pinned comment below about T-Drive. We call it the 10-second solution, because if you take 2 of these a day, you can help to start naturally boost your testosterone. The pinned comment, click the link and you'll find out more information. Be sure to subscribe to the Criticalbench channel. Give this video a thumbs up. I'm sure we're gonna get some comments and questions on this one, and we'll see you again.
Post them down below.
That's right, post them down below. And we'll see you in the next video.